Today is Wednesday, March 17th, 2021. I'm recording this because last night I had to yoke up Isabela, grab her by the neck and rough her up a little bit because she needed to learn a lesson. And I figured I'd record this because this way, for purposes of posterity, for herself, she'll hopefully, ow, my back, one day watch this, and understand the method behind, everything that happened. But basically, Isabela has been having this reoccurring problem of lying to her mother and I. In the past, when her mother and I went to Costa Rica and we left her with a sitter, sometime during the time when I guess the sitter wasn't present, she went with Michael all the way to Wendy's, walking on Meadowlands Parkway at the age of, I want to say 11, maybe 12. Both way too young ages to be doing that. After that, we call her in a couple of other lies, similar in nature. I won't go over those examples because I don't remember them at this juncture, and I'd rather focus on the most recent example that did occur. In the most recent example, she asked her mother if Zora could take her to CVS. Zora's mother. If Zora's mother could take her to CVS so that they could go together and hang out. Isabela's mom felt bad because, the kids have been locked up due to quarantine, and we're conservative parents, so we're not exactly like, having them hang out as much as maybe they would like to. And not because of quarantine, but just because there's no reason for, kids to be in the street as much as, I think Isabela would like. Isabela, at some juncture, it wound up being that Zora's mom wasn't taking them to CVS. I don't know if it's because that wasn't the plan from the beginning, and Zora and Isabela concocted to just walk on their own and tell their mom a lie, so that they could walk on their own to CVS. Or if maybe the mother at the last minute backed out, or maybe I'm not even sure yet, because there were so many lies intertwined between what Isabela told us at the end that I don't even know what the truth is anymore. Maybe Zora's mom did bring Isabela and Zora to CVS, but then left them there, which, we're not cool with that. In either event, Isabela decided to walk back home from CVS, and I'm driving now, so for you grandkids or future kids who see, not future kids for me, but future family members or great grandkids, hopefully even, who see this, so far this is a long walk, and as you can see, it's a busy highway, busy cars. You could get hit by a car, some pervert can pull over and kidnap you from the side of the road. Busy highway where you have to cross the street, not a highway, but a very busy road. And we're not even close to CVS. CVS is a good half a mile that way. So Isabela decided to walk back from CVS home and lied to her mother about it. She didn't tell anyone that she was walking back. She just did it. As life would have it, Isabela's mom was driving on Meadowlands Parkway and saw them walking on Meadowlands Parkway. And she called, and Isabela followed up with another lie, saying that Zora's mom wasn't able to bring them home, so Zora's mom dropped them off somewhere on Meadowlands Parkway so that they could walk the rest of the way. Which makes no sense from the very get-go, because I'm on Meadowlands Parkway right now. And if I'm going in that direction, it just takes me another 2 minutes to frickin'... Let me try to catch this light. It just takes me another 2 minutes for me to go drop off my kids, do a U-turn. Oh, fuck, I missed the light. Oh, well. And then continue on my merry way. Okay? So that didn't make sense. And my wife, of course, realized that. But to make matters worse for Isabela, my wife pulls up to the front of the building to drop off the groceries for Michael to pick up. And who pulls up right in front of my wife's car? Zora's mom. So right there, it was very clearly obvious that Isabela was lying. I was home already by then. My beautiful, gorgeous, and amazing wife comes upstairs and tells me, that Isabela was lying, and she gives me the brief sum-down. I send a recorded message to Isabela saying, "Get your ass up here now." Might have even thrown an F-bomb in there. And Isabela comes upstairs, maybe in about 10-15 minutes, and she comes in crying. And she says, make a long story short, she asks me to listen because some event had occurred that, am I still recording? Good. That I should listen. Make a long story short, that some guy cornered her and Zora and was offering her money to, like, I guess let him touch her or something like that, and that he moved forward to touch her, but then she used her jujitsu on her hand. I don't know what move I used. I just used jujitsu on his hand, and then I stopped her immediately because I knew it was a bunch of bullshit. I was like, what you're trying to do is manipulate me, because I had a conversation with her the night before, coincidentally, about how humans try to manipulate other humans through the use of emotions, guilt tripping, trying to act like a victim so that way they don't get in trouble. There's a million ways to try to manipulate people. And her story didn't make sense. So I said to her, I was like, wait a minute. If some guy would have randomly whatever, I think the first thing you would have done is call me or your mom to say, or Zora's mom even, to say, hey, this just happened. Someone come save us. Some dude in the street just tried to fondle me, just offered me money, or whatever you're claiming, right? But none of that happened. So that's a problem. You didn't call to tell us until now when you just got in trouble. Between then and 24 hours later, the story changed yet again. Now it wasn't on Meadowlands Parkway, it was in front of a pharmacy. I believe I left off saying about how Isabela's story changed. It went from, some guy, attempting to sexually assault her on Meadowlands Parkway, to then some guy, to it being a guy in front of Mara's pharmacy in Secaucus, then to eventually it being some guy in the hotel in Connecticut months ago. And this was only after I told Isabela, I need to know the truth, because I'm literally about to call the cops. And when I told her that I'm going to call the cops and that I'm going to find out who this person is, it doesn't just end here. Like, I will literally find out who this person is, and I will have justice served. Once I told her that, the story changed. Now it was in Connecticut and months ago, and honestly, I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know. I'm sure it did happen, because I read in her body language that she was, at some point in the last year, assaulted. Unfortunately, she was sexually assaulted. And that upsets me, but I can't do anything about it now. What am I gonna do? Fucking beat myself up, be upset about it? I can't do anything. There was nothing wrong based on all of the stories that she gave us that I feel that we as parents did that could have prevented this. If it happened in Connecticut, she asked to walk around the hotel, to just walk around, and we allowed her to. And I don't even think it was that long. It's like, I don't even remember honestly doing that, to be frank with you. In Connecticut, I don't remember that. So I question her story still, because I know in Las Vegas, Or I know that I have allowed her to, like, you know, walk around properties like hotels that we've been at. I don't know that I've ever let her do it by herself. And if I have, not for extended periods of time, like maybe a half hour tops. So I find her story still problematic. But let's assume that it was, in fact, in Connecticut, as she claims. You know, what am I going to do? Like, say, no, don't walk around, get fresh air. You might get, you know, sexually assaulted by some guy in the fucking hallway. I mean, it wasn't a dangerous environment. It wasn't out in the street. It was in the hotel. I can't go after anyone because if it was Connecticut, it happened so long ago that who am I going to call? What point in time am I going to reference? What videos are we going to look at? It's done. It's over with. You know, and since she made the choice of not communicating to me at that time, I can't do anything about it. So, in either event, going back to the original story, so her story changed. I don't know ultimately what happened, but in speaking with her, her mother and I speaking with her in the living room, Michael was present. Isabella has started to, in the last day or two, give some attitude back. Well, actually not in the last day or two. Actually, it's been in the last couple of months. And I've given her enough warning where I said, Isabella, how you respond to people is going to be a problem. Because if you give this little attitude, this little, you know, I don't know if you can see my hand standing like this, and this little ghetto, like, I think I'm sassy bullshit, right? Your body language says something. If you respond back to someone with an attitude, someone someday is going to punch you in the face. If you do that in a work environment, someone someday is going to be upset by how you spoke to them and will become your enemy in business. You're going to be married someday. You're going to have a boyfriend or a husband. And if you respond to your partners this way, they'll fall out of love with you. I've said this to her on multiple occasions. And now, while we're speaking to her last night, she starts giving attitude again. You know, and her versions of attitude are not like, you know, she's not cursing or anything like that, because I would never allow that in my household. From her to her parents in a disrespectful manner. And what I mean by that is someday in the future when they're older, we'll curse around each other. But I mean, like, cursing at a parent out of blatant disrespect, I would never allow that. But she was giving this little attitude thing, and I told her to stop. Right? She didn't stop. I gave her a warning. I was like, I'm seconds away from you know, taking action. Right? I let her know. She didn't stop. And then she says, I had said to her, so her mother and I were trying to determine whether or not she went to CVS to meet up with boys. And I asked her, or her mother asked her, who did you go to meet up with? Did you meet up with boys? And instead of her saying no or yes or whatever, her response was, yeah, we called 6 boys. Like, literally, like that little attitude. I got up, grabbed her by the fucking collars, put her against the wall, and I told her, that's it. I told you about this fucking attitude problem you have. You don't talk to your parents this way. Right? Jostled her a little bit once more, you know, and then, you know, explain to her, like I said, you're seconds away from getting hurt. You can't talk to people this way. And then I let her go. So that is, you know, the event that happened. And I decided to record this because I need her to understand the whys behind things. And eventually, once, you know, a day or two goes by, I'll have the conversation on the whys. And of course, the proper way, in my opinion, of doing these things. You know, you should never grab a child and, for example, throw them against the wall where they hit their head. You know, that should never happen. You know, it's not like I grabbed her throat, you know, no black and blues or scarring. It was enough to jostle her, to shake some sense into her, you know. And the reason why is because I do believe in consequences. I believe that it is my responsibility as her parent to create environments where consequences follow from the decisions that are made. Because if I don't do this, then at some point in time in the future, she's going to be with some person, a friend in the street, and that person's going to punch her in the face. Hold on while I order my Starbucks.
Hi, welcome to Starbucks. How can I help you?
Hi, can I please have an espresso con panna quad with extra whipped cream, a splash of 2% cold milk? Please keep it all inside of a short cup.
Of course. And this is hot, right?
No, cold. Sorry, yeah, hot. Durr.
Okay.
I get confused.
It's okay. No worries.
But the 2% milk is cold.
Alright,
Yeah. Can I also get an oatmeal, please?
Uh-huh.
As well as a bacon and Gruyere testicles? Whatever you call them. Egg pods?
A bacon Gruyere egg bites?
There you go. Egg bites.
Not testicles.
They look like testicles, man. That's why every time I see them, I'm like, those are testicles. Anyway, and can I also get a croissant, toasted, well done? And if you could cut it down the middle, that'd be great. I don't know if that's possible.
It's not possible.
Okay.
Sorry.
But if you could throw in a knife, that'd be great.
No, you're good, you're good.
Okay.
He actually cut it up for you. I was just playing with you.
Oh, beautiful. Excellent. Thank you.
Because you keep saying that our bacon Gruyere bites
Testicles?
look like testicles. How do you eat them if they look like testicles?
I take little bites, little by little.
$14.93.
Can I also get a mocha frappuccino, medium size one?
A medium mocha frappuccino?
Yeah, with a whipped cream and the drizzle on top.
With the mocha drizzle?
Yes. Whoever thought that ordering at Starbucks could be so sexually invigorating? Thanks again, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Take care.
2021. I'll
Thank
see
you. Thank you. I love making people laugh. So, I should probably take this off. Poor guy's gonna get scared thinking that I recorded him. So in either event, yeah, that's what happened, and I need her to understand that the reasons why I take such actions are because, like I said earlier, someday she's gonna be talking to someone that she perceives as a friend, or she just met in a bar and she's talking to, or she's just talking to people and some random person walks by and she gives that little attitude to, and that person's gonna punch her in the fucking face. And just because she trains in jiu-jitsu, just because she, I train her in boxing, doesn't mean that she's gonna see a punch coming out of nowhere, because that shit happens, okay? Or worst case scenario, it leads to now a gang fight because that person, has their friends and their friends decide to jump her, or that person carries a knife and decides to knife her because she gives this fucking little attitude. Or, not going to such extremes, she loses friends because of it. She gets hated because of it. I deal with this shit on a regular basis, with human beings. There are people in the world who don't like me because I didn't have a parent to tell me about this little attitude problem that I have and that I've been working on, only because it took me 40 fucking years to figure it out, right? So that's why I do what I do, or did what I did. And that's what I'm hoping she'll understand, and in conclusion, and as a reminder from what I said to her yesterday, and for you grandkids and future grandkids, the reasons why we are so conservative, and I'm going to pause there because I'm about to get my Starbucks shit. Howdy. How you doing? Work. Okay, so back to the final story. So yesterday, the moral of the story that I made to Isabella was, Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. It wasn't about the yoking up. I already covered that. Oh, why we're so conservative. The reasons why we're so conservative is because we live in a fucking society, and you know what? She proved my point yesterday by the fact that she became, damn, this thing is too toasted. She became, unfortunately, one out of three girls to be sexually assaulted. I told her that this was more than likely going to happen. This is why you train in jiu-jitsu. Women are unfortunately abused by men, sexually objectified by men. And, you know, my goal in parenting her has been to always try to prepare her for that reality, to be able to physically defend herself, which is why I train her in jiu-jitsu and boxing. If some fucking dude someday takes her out on a date and thinks that it's okay to try to force her to have sex, you know, I want her to be able to choke somebody out. I wanted to prepare her for the reality of some fucking random guy being drunk in a hotel, presuming that that's exactly what happened, and then touching her in an inappropriate manner. She was 12 years old at the time when that happened, you know? But this is why we close you kids off to the world until a couple of things happen. Number one, you demonstrate that you're emotionally and intellectually mature. I don't like the way these taste, but I've always wondered if I should or shouldn't. Emotionally and intellectually mature to be out there. Meaning, for example, if, you know, let's say, for example, Zora's mom was going to take them to CVS, but then all of a sudden Zora's mom canceled. Instead of saying, yeah, let's walk there, my parents won't find out, having the dignity and respect for your parents to say, Zora, I can't go. And no matter how much peer pressure Zora puts on you or how much you want to go, saying, no, I respect my parents enough that I'm not going to do that. Or I simply don't want to get in fucking trouble. There's a reason why my parents are also saying this too. They're trying to protect me. You know, I mean, I like it, but they're trying to protect me. So that's why we're conservative. And, you know, we've given Isabella some rope so that way she could go and experience the world. But then when you make poor decisions, like lying to us, you leave us no choice but to pull you back in. And to then, you know, remove more freedoms. Because in conclusion, so I can eat my breakfast, and you're probably tired of hearing me. In conclusion, we only have you for maybe 18 years of your life. Because once you're 18, you can legally emancipate yourself. Shit, you could do that even at the age of 14, I think. You can go to court and request to legally be emancipated from your parents. Right? But at the age of 18, for sure, you can do that. And you can say, Judge, I don't want to live with my parents anymore. Shit, at 18, you don't even have to go to a judge. So we have 18 years of your life to create an environment of safety for you to grow within. And for us to create scenarios within which we can help prepare you for this world. This is why I do jiu-jitsu with you. This is why I do boxing with you. This is why I had your brother one time, you know, when he was blacking out, you know, stay there on top of you so that you could experience that in a controlled environment where I was there so that I wouldn't let anything happen to you, where he wouldn't be able to, for example, punch you in the face or choke you out or some shit like that, right? I did that on purpose, and you one day eventually admitted, you thanked me. You don't remember doing this. I fucking remember it, because you were prepared for your first fight, right? You were prepared for these things. That's my fucking job as your father. And I didn't have that shit. I didn't have a father to prepare me. You know, my mother, she tried her best. She was always working, and when she came home, she would watch her telenovela. She would cook, clean a little bit, watch your telenovelas, go to sleep. You know? She tried her best, but she was a single mom. No one can blame her for that. But I had to figure out shit on my own. And you don't have that misfortune. But that's why I do what I do. Anyway, I'm done. Hopefully someday you guys will actually listen to this shit. And if you do, hopefully you'll walk away above all saying like, damn, my father fucking loved me. Because I do.
Y siempre te lo pongo. Y si tú me tiras, me la dejo. Si por mí te lo pongo. De septiembre hasta agosto. Y a mí sí. Lo que digan tus amigas, ya yo me enteré. Se nota cuando me ves. Ahí donde no hay llegado, sabes que yo te llevaré. Y dime qué quieres beber. Es que tú eres mi bebé. Y de nosotros quién va a hablar. Si no nos dejamos ver.
Fat gay security guard who fucking has a crush on me, and it's disturbing. Weird ass mother.